So now let's talk about the subject of the day, the reality check, the Bhagwan principle. But before we go ahead, please do subscribe to the channel and like the video. So let's look at some past instances. This is the HDFC Bank HDFC Limited merger situation. This was in April 2022, and 4th April was the date on which the announcement was to be made. um, and the stock started moving from 3 or 4 days before that, from nearly 1450. It went up to nearly 1510, 2.5% in the insiders playing the stock. And then the sudden announcement came on 4th of April, and a 13% move happened on that day with a big gap up opening right there. So a lot of folks uh, may have been caught by surprise here, but for many other folks, this was a something that they knew it was coming. Another case could have been the Reliance Jio Facebook deal. This was in April 2020, and 9% was the up move before the deal announcement came through. The deal came through on 22nd April, and you can see a huge big gap up there. But before that, also there was about a 9% move there. More recently, Infosys quarter 4 23 results, which were poor results, but stock was falling much before that for almost the entire month of March. And some few days before the results, also there was a downward move, suggesting that insiders knew that a poor result was coming. And then on the day of the result, post the opening, you saw a big gap down in the next trading session. So whenever there has been a big announcement, post the announcement there is no opportunity left to play in that direction. So for instance, if somebody wanted to go short on Infosys basis the poor results, it already opened here, so all the game of the downward move was already done by then. So that's exactly what is Bhagwan, where the price is god and price is already encompassing whatever needs to be discounted for that stock. Many such examples. So Adani Group stocks, Supreme Court verdict came out, and two trading sessions before the verdict, Adani Group stocks began to violently go up. And then on the day of the verdict, there was a gap up and a huge volatile candle post that. And almost 7% was gained in the days running up to that verdict. Many more examples could be there. So Vedanta demerger news happened in September 2023, where stock surged 7 or 8% a day before the announcement. And suddenly these trading volumes were spiking. L&T buyback and special dividend happened in July 2023, and in the 3-4 sessions before the announcement, L&T stock rose nearly 6%. So while we can all think that there would be no leakages of any kind of such corporate news, and nobody would know about this, but there is a entire process before which any announcement gets made. So the company actually announcing to the exchange what has happened would have had some board meetings, perhaps some vendors or publishers of some internal documentation would be knowing. Of course, the employees or directors of that company perhaps can be in the know. So it is unethical, but it happens all the time, and it happens all over the world actually. So there is information asymmetry. So if you are a investor who is not in links with any particular part of the company, you probably would be the last one to know, and that too through the media. Usually it is said that if you hear something on the media or you read it in the newspaper, it is too late to react to it for the short term. Long term, yes, the repercussion may continue, but for the short term, the smart money, as it is called, has already moved in and probably is moving out when you think of moving in. uh, the large players always, they not only do they have better due diligence, they have access to more insights, but in reality they have better networking, and that uh, you know does help them to some extent. Insider trading, of course, can always occur. We can keep our eyes closed and say that there is no insider trading that is happening or should be happening, but it happens all the time. And any upcoming event that is likely to create a material difference in the stock price often will result in some kind of a insider trading happening before you will get to know. So it's a global phenomena, and let's look at some global outcomes also. So this is Pfizer, the COVID-19 vaccine maker, and it came out with results in November 2020. Supposedly, great results were to be coming. So up move happened uh, in few trading sessions before the results, and then the big gap up happened on the result day, and then you can see that almost immediately in the next 5 days the entire move was given up. So buy on rumor, sell on news happening here, where smart money moving in early and then dumping it as soon as retailers would start to buy post the news. Kraft Heinz acquisition of Unilever February 2017 was another example where the stock started to move up much before the announcement. And then, once the announcement came through, there was a 13% up move uh, before the news officially broke out. And then, this in this particular case, the stock actually kept going up further. In 2018, Elon Musk created a sort of a viral tweet which said funding secured, and that caused unusual volumes before that event. And Tesla moved almost 21% before that announcement that some funding was getting secured, and there was 11% move on the day of that news also. But a huge chunk of that move had already happened prior to the move. And even in the HDFC Bank case, you can see in April 22, while there was a huge move on the day of the announcement, in the next 7 or 8 sessions, the entire move was given up. And post merger, basically positions were getting squared off of the people who had built positions ahead of it. Adani Enterprise also fell down after the Supreme Court verdict, after it had gone up, and on the day of the verdict had made a new high right here, and then gave up most of it gains post that. So what's in this for the investors? So ignore the whisper numbers and media hype. You can say that all that doesn't matter, but as they say, there is no smoke without fire. So whenever you will find that a stock is moving up or moving down with higher volumes, and there apparently is no news around, uh, it is very likely that something is going to come out very, very soon. And the price is actually catching that news much ahead of the news that will actually be delivered to you. So never underestimate a move of a stock up or down by thinking that this may be a wrong move. It's happening for a reason. There is a demand for that stock. Let's say stock is suddenly starting to go up, and you are thinking there is no valuation case, there is nothing happening in the company. Something is happening, that is why the price is going up. There is more demand for the stock than supply, and hence the price is moving up. It's usually much later than that we come to know why the uh, price has moved up or why the price has moved down. So the why of the story is not important. What is important is to understand that where the trends are, where the liquidity is flowing, where the demand is existing. The why can be satisfied once the why is known. And it's by the time we know the why, it is almost every time it is late. So when we embrace a long term investment horizon, we can follow the trends. We can sort of you can say have confidence in the trends. Yes, they will not work 100% of the time. Nothing works 100% of the time, but it's a great way to be one step ahead of the market. All the numbers that we talk about, whether we talk about quarterly results, annual results, so on and so forth, are all of the past. The quarterly result is telling you a snapshot of the last 3 months, which also ended maybe a month or month and a half ago. It tells you nothing about the future. Management speak about the next quarter, about the next year, can all be very biased. Why will any management talk to you poorly about its outcome? They have nothing to gain there. So, believing numbers or narratives from the very company which has a vested interest in making sure their market cap remains high, I think that is a fool's game to start with. So more reliance should be actually on the actual proof of the pudding, which is the price. Market as a entirety is a very pragmatic and I would say a knowledgeful, beast, and it is very difficult to manipulate it easily. very small caps or micro caps can be manipulated, but larger stocks are difficult to manipulate just because somebody wants to manipulate that. And hence, looking at those kind of trends probably will keep you in good stead instead of believing in whatever narrative the perhaps the company may want you to believe. So the BBC principle, the Bhao Bhagwanche principle, is exactly this: that we follow the price trends, and we believe that what the price is telling us is what is the actual backing of that move, and that the price is telling us the truth. Is basically a truth or a lie game, where what is the truth and what is a lie has to be determined. And prices, because they are a collective view of the market, is telling you the current truth of the market. What do people believe? So even if you can't time the market, if you follow trends, they will keep you one step ahead of most of the things always. So let us know in the comments if you have fallen for such traps, such as the narratives. Let's say some news announcement has come and you really got excited about that announcement and you bought the stock, and then that was the peak for several months together. That would have happened to a lot of folks a lot of times. So we need to learn from those episodes, we need to learn from those mistakes, that sometimes when the news is released, it is essentially to be seen with a very skeptical view, that what has the stock done in the run up to this news? Have we already discounted more than what needs to be discounted here? And how should we avoid the noise like this in the market? That is the true test of a good investor. So let us know in the comments your thoughts on this. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Do like and share these videos if you like them, and do subscribe to the channel. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye.